Hello everyone, today we are going to learn how to customize your tables in Bootstrap. First thing is, of course, as always, put your goddamn link of Bootstrap, right? We are going to use the for as we are using from the beginning of the tutorial. I'm going to copy and paste it from the place I had, right? So you just copy, paste it. I'm not going to use anything except in the code that we need. Okay, so you just come here for the table. The normal table will simply let the table without these borders, the vertical borders in each cell. You only have the horizontal ones, horizontal dividers. We'll put it very wide, and that's it. The last one doesn't have as well. Very simple, very nice with slight padding to make it be better. The second one we'll put it not only the table, but the table stripped. What does that mean? It will have strips in the data, in the table rows. One table row and another table row, one of them will be slightly darker with a gray background, you see? The second one, the table borders. Don't forget you always need the table before. The left, we are using two different classes. So in the table border, it will increase the border in the every cell, right? In the border one, in the last one, it will also have a border, so it will keep everything bordered, okay? Everything bordered. Now the table hover, right? The table hover, you just put your mouse over it, and the row that is receiving the hover will turn slightly darker. Very easy. Now, instead of only putting the table, you're going to also put the table dark, so it will become simply darker, right? Just the same thing but dark. Now, instead of only having the table and a class, we have the table dark, and the other class that we want. As an example, the table stripped, the same thing as before, but instead of darker color between rows, we have a ladder. Okay, I mean, just the same thing, the same thing. Relax. Now we just put the table over, so when we over it, we make it slightly lighter. It will become a gray. Okay, very easy. Put table and table borders. It will have no borders. The table suddenly became bigger. Why? Because there's a lot of content now. So you see, in here you can check it. Yeah. Okay, let's start from here. The first is the default one, you may know. The second one starts having the table primary. What is that? If you check my last video about colors in Bootstrap, you learned that every background and every text can have just a simple hyphen, yes, and have primary for blue, success for green, danger for yellow, danger for red, warning for yellow, info, blah 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 blah. You see, there's a lot of colors in here. So, for table, same thing. Instead of putting BG for background or text for the texts, we just put table. In the table row. In the table row, we'll have this text. This color. This theme of color. Now, the table header, right? We'll just put a class called head dark, and it will be very dark with the white text, right? And if you put head light, it will just get a little bit darker, and the text will get bolder and darker, of course. Now the table bordered, of course, so it will become bordered in every direction, and the table small. For me, it's just obvious to have the table small with table border, because it will become smaller and it will become harder to check. My opinion, you can remove it, of course. But the thing here is the table small. You can just put that even to make it SM small. Now the scan responsive table, it just simply adds a scroll in the bottom of the table in smaller screens. That's responsive, but not the responsive we want. Maybe in the future I can make a whole thing about responsive table, but very nice. I also have to mention that you can also put even SM, even D for medium, LG for large, or XL for extra large. But I don't think it's quite useful, because it will simply tell browser that will only get this scroll bar at certain resolutions, but it's not really needed. If you put inspect page, inspect it, it's not really that useful. You see, it hasn't a space. It will automatically go. See, for me, it just don't bother about it. Just put responsive and the rest the browser will live with it, because Bootstrap is very good. It's the best, one of the best front-end frameworks for creating websites, of course. For today is everything. Please click in these videos before so you don't get lost in my Bootstrap tutorials. Hope you guys enjoyed and see you soon.